brought to you by Soundlibra.com. You can find a direct link to our full library in the description of this audio, or visit us anytime at Soundlibra.com. Welcome to the Power of Walking. Today, we kick off our journey with the accidental revolution of movement and mind.
It's truly amazing, Alex. Before we dive in, a quick note to our listeners. While we're exploring the mental benefits of walking, this content is for informational purposes and isn't medical advice, so always consult with a professional for your health needs. I had no idea how deeply a simple stroll could impact my focus and problem solving.
Exactly. And it's not just a modern fad. Throughout history, thinkers, philosophers, and artists have recognized walking as a catalyst for thought. Imagine ancient Greek philosophers pacing, or Charles Dickens reportedly walking miles each day to fuel his writing. There's an instinctual connection between movement and mental clarity.
So, it's not just about getting our steps in for physical health. For this series, we're focusing on the mental and emotional benefits, right? What's the core idea we're exploring in this first episode?
The core idea is that walking can trigger an accidental revolution in our minds. It's about rediscovering a practice that's both ancient and scientifically proven to boost our thinking, spark our creativity, and improve our mood. We'll be delving into why this humble activity holds such power.
And you mentioned a personal journey. Can you share a bit about how you rediscovered walking's power?
For me, it was during a particularly stressful period at work. I was trying to solve a complex problem, staring at my computer screen for hours and getting nowhere. I felt stuck. On a whim, I decided to take a walk around the block just to get some air. Something clicked. As I walked, the pieces of the problem started to fall into place. New ideas emerged, and solutions that seemed impossible suddenly felt achievable. It was like a fog lifted.
That's so relatable. I had a similar experience. I was feeling overwhelmed with a personal project, a bit creatively blocked. I decided to go for a long, aimless walk in a local park. Without trying to force it, ideas just started bubbling up. I found myself brainstorming solutions, envisioning the next steps, and feeling a renewed sense of enthusiasm. It was pure serendipity, but it made me realize this wasn't just a fluke. There had to be something more to it.
And there is. This isn't just about anecdotal evidence. Science is increasingly backing up what ancient wisdom has suggested for centuries. We'll be touching on some of that science throughout the series, exploring how our brains actually change and adapt when we move.
So, for listeners who might be thinking, walking? Really? How can it be that powerful? What can they expect to learn over the course of our discussions?
Over the coming episodes, we're going to break down exactly how walking can revolutionize your mind. We'll explore the science behind how movement influences our brain chemistry, leading to improved focus and memory. We'll look at how walking can be a powerful tool for problem solving and boosting creativity. Those aha moments.
And how it can be a form of nature's prescription, providing mood boosts and stress relief, almost like a natural antidepressant. That's something I'm really looking forward to.
Absolutely. We'll also discuss building consistent walking habits, even when life gets busy. We'll talk about walking meditations, the power of social strolls, and even some advanced techniques to deepen the experience. It's a comprehensive look at how this simple activity can become a cornerstone of daily well-being.
It sounds like you're saying we can intentionally harness this accidental revolution, rather than just waiting for it to happen.
Precisely. The revolution might feel accidental at first, driven by a need to clear our heads or escape a rut, but we can learn to cultivate it. We can understand the mechanisms at play and deliberately integrate walking into our lives to reap its full cognitive and emotional rewards. It's about making a conscious choice to step into a more vibrant, clear, and creative way of being.
So, this first episode is really about setting the stage, isn't it? Introducing the concept that walking is so much more than just physical exercise. It's a powerful tool for mental and emotional transformation.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. We've shared our personal awakenings to the power of walking, highlighted its historical significance, and hinted at the scientific backing. We've established that this humble activity can indeed spark an accidental revolution within us.
And we've piqued listener curiosity about what's to come. We've set the foundation for understanding why we're dedicating an entire series to this seemingly simple act and what listeners can truly gain from it.
Exactly. We're not just talking about taking a stroll. We're talking about stepping into a profoundly better way of thinking, feeling, and living. This is the beginning of your own walking revolution.
So, what's next for us in our next discussion?
Next time, we'll dive deeper into the science. We'll explore your brain on the move and uncover what's actually happening internally when you walk.
Your brain on the move, I like that. It sounds like a great way to start understanding the how behind the magic.
It is. So, thank you for joining us for this introduction. We're incredibly excited to embark on this journey with you. Join us next time as we explore your brain on the move. Next episode, your brain on the move. Welcome back. Last time, we explored the accidental revolution of walking. Today, we dive into your brain on the move.
Absolutely, Alex. It's fascinating to me how something as simple as walking can have such a powerful effect on our minds. I feel more focused, more creative, even just after a short stroll. But why? That's what I'm really eager to untangle today.
That's the perfect question to start with, Lisa. The immediate answer is a cascade of physiological benefits that directly impact our brain. When you begin to walk, even at a gentle pace, your body kicks into gear. Your heart rate increases, and with that, blood circulation speeds up. Now, think of your blood as a delivery service for your brain.
So, more blood circulation means more good stuff getting delivered to my brain cells?
Exactly. More blood flow means more oxygen and more vital nutrients reach your brain. Imagine your brain as a bustling city. When the roads are clear and traffic is flowing smoothly, everything functions better, right? Walking helps clear those roads. This increased oxygen supply is crucial for optimal brain function, improving everything from alertness to cognitive processing.
That makes so much sense. It's like giving your brain a refreshing, invigorating drink of oxygen.
Precisely. But it doesn't stop there. As your body works harder through walking, it also releases certain chemicals, often called neurotransmitters and hormones. You might have heard of endorphins, which are the body's natural mood boosters. When you walk, you're essentially giving yourself a dose of these feel-good chemicals.
Ah, so that's why I often feel happier after a walk. It's not just in my head, it's a chemical reaction.
You got it. Beyond endorphins, walking also triggers the release of other incredibly beneficial compounds. One of the most exciting for brain health is called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. You can think of BDNF as a sort of fertilizer for your brain.
Fertilizer for my brain? I love that analogy. What does it do exactly?
BDNF plays a critical role in the growth, survival, and plasticity of neurons, your brain cells. Neuroplasticity is your brain's remarkable ability to change and adapt throughout your life, forming new neural connections. So, when you walk and increase BDNF levels, you're literally helping your brain grow and rewire itself. This means better learning, improved memory, and a greater capacity to cope with new information or challenges.
So, walking isn't just keeping our existing brain cells healthy, it's actively encouraging them to grow and connect in new ways. That's incredible for lifelong learning and even for recovery from cognitive challenges.
Absolutely. And this enhanced connectivity has direct impacts on specific cognitive functions. Let's talk about focus. When your brain is well oxygenated and has a steady supply of nutrients, And with the help of chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine that are also often boosted by exercise, your ability to concentrate sharpens. Distractions fade into the background as your brain becomes more efficient at filtering out noise.
So, if I'm struggling to focus on a task, instead of pushing through at my desk, a walk might actually be the solution.
It very well might be. Studies have shown that even short bursts of walking can significantly improve focus and attention spans. It's a way to reset your mental state. And for problem solving, walking can be a game changer. When you're stuck on a problem, your brain can get locked into certain patterns of thinking. The physical act of moving, combined with the increased blood flow and neurotransmitter activity, helps to break those patterns.
It's like shaking up a snow globe. All those settled thoughts get stirred up, and you can see them in a new light.
That's a fantastic way to put it. This shaking up allows for new associations to form, leading to those aha moments. People often report having their best ideas while walking because their brain is in a more receptive, flexible state. Remember how we touched on the idea that walking feels almost accidental in its power? This brain boost is a major reason why.
It's amazing how these biological changes translate directly into tangible mental benefits. We've talked about increased blood flow, the release of endorphins and BDNF, and improvements in focus and problem solving. Are there any other key brain benefits we should highlight from this initial movement?
Yes, let's briefly touch on memory. The very processes that enhance learning and neuroplasticity, increase blood flow, oxygen, and BDNF also support memory formation and recall. A healthier brain, with better connectivity and more robust neurons, is simply better equipped to store and retrieve information. Think of your memory like a library. BDNF is like hiring more librarians to organize the books and make them easier to find.
So, those of us who feel like our memory isn't what it used to be, or who want to learn new things more effectively, can see walking as a powerful tool.
Absolutely. It's a foundational practice. And it's this understanding of the underlying biological mechanisms that moves us beyond just anecdotal evidence, as powerful as that is. We know why walking works. It's not magic, it's biology, and it's incredibly accessible. This increased oxygen, the mood-lifting chemicals, the brain fertilizer for growth and connection. All these elements work together to create a significantly more capable and resilient brain.
It's really empowering to know that we can actively influence our brain health and cognitive function through such a simple, readily available activity. So, to recap this episode, when we walk, we increase blood flow and oxygen to the brain, which is vital for peak performance. We also release feel-good endorphins that boost our mood, and crucially, we stimulate BDNF, essentially fertilizing our brain to promote neuron growth and new connections. This biologically driven process directly enhances our focus, aids in problem solving, and supports better memory.
Nicely summarized, Lisa. These are the fundamental shifts happening inside our heads every time we step out for a walk. In our next episode, we'll build on this understanding by exploring the walking meeting revolution and how we can leverage these brain benefits in a more structured professional context.
I'm already looking forward to it.
Next episode, the walking meeting revolution. Welcome back. Last time, we explored how movement alters brain chemistry, making us sharper. Now, let's integrate that power into our professional lives today.
The walking meeting revolution. Sounds active. Alex, for listeners picturing themselves power walking, what exactly is a walking meeting?
At its core, a walking meeting is a discussion that would normally happen seated, conducted while walking. It's shifting from static to dynamic conversation. Instead of a conference room, you and colleagues step outside or walk around the office and talk through your agenda.
So it's not about speed walking or getting a workout in necessarily. It's about the conversation happening in motion.
Exactly. The physical movement is almost secondary to the cognitive shift it allows. Our brains are wired for movement. When sitting still for long periods, especially during discussions, energy dips, minds wander, and we might not be open to new ideas. Walking increases blood flow to the brain, boosts creativity, and makes us more alert and engaged.
That resonates. I've experienced that afternoon slump in seated meetings. A bit of gentle movement could counteract that. So, beyond feeling energized, what are the real benefits of walking meetings?
The benefits are surprisingly powerful. Firstly, enhanced collaboration. Walking side by side changes the interpersonal dynamic. It breaks down hierarchical barriers. You're not facing each other across a table formally. You're moving together as a team. This often leads to more open, honest, and candid discussions.
That makes sense. It feels less like an interrogation and more like a shared journey.
Precisely. Another major benefit is spontaneous idea generation. Movement and conversation often spark unexpected connections and insights. Those aha moments, the ones that hit you when not actively trying to think of them, are more likely during a walking meeting. The gentle rhythm of walking can unlock creativity and allow for free-flowing brainstorming.
So, the walking itself acts as a muse?
In a way, yes. It creates an environment where ideas can emerge more organically, and that leads to increased engagement and focus. When you're physically moving, you're naturally more present. It's harder to get lost in your phone or passively check out when actively walking. This sustained engagement means meetings are often more productive and efficient. People get to the point more quickly.
That's a huge win. We've all sat through meetings that felt like they could have been an email, right?
Absolutely. And beyond cognitive and collaborative benefits, there's the tangible health aspect. We know the dangers of prolonged sitting. Incorporating walking meetings builds physical activity into the workday without requiring extra gym time. It's movement integrated into the flow of work.
Okay, Alex, I'm sold on the benefits. But how do we actually do this? It sounds great, but implementing it effectively must require thought.
You've hit on a crucial point. It's not just about grabbing colleagues and heading out. Effective walking meetings require planning and best practices. First, consider the meeting's purpose. Walking meetings are ideal for brainstorming, one-on-one check-ins, problem solving, or reviewing progress. They might not be best for data-intensive presentations needing visual aids or for very sensitive discussions where privacy is paramount,
So, not for a big budget review with spreadsheets.
right? But perfect for a creative team hashing out a new campaign or for a manager and direct report discussing performance. Second, choose your route wisely. You want a safe, relatively quiet path where you can hear each other clearly. Parks, quiet streets, or loops around the office building can work. The key is to minimize distractions.
And what about agendas? Do you still have one?
Absolutely. While walking meetings encourage spontaneity, they still benefit from structure. A clear, concise agenda helps keep the conversation focused and ensures you cover necessary points. You might designate a timekeeper or have a brief wrap up at the end to make sure all action items are clear.
That's important. We don't want to walk for miles and forget what we decided.
Exactly. And inclusivity is another critical factor. Not everyone may be able or comfortable walking for extended periods. So, consider offering alternatives like a shorter walking loop or a stationary option for those who prefer it. It's about making the benefits accessible to everyone. Some people might wear comfortable shoes, others business attire. Adaptability is key.
That's a thoughtful point, Alex. It's not one size fits all. So, to recap for our listeners, walking meetings are a dynamic way to conduct discussions, boosting collaboration, sparking creativity, increasing engagement, and improving well being. They're best suited for certain meeting types and require planning around routes and agendas, with an emphasis on inclusivity.
You've got it. And the beauty is it's a low barrier to entry change. You can start with a simple one-on-one or a small team brainstorming session. As you experience the benefits, you can gradually introduce it more widely. It's about embracing movement not as a separate activity, but as an integral part of how we work and connect.
It truly sounds like a revolution in professional interaction, moving not just our bodies, but our minds and our outcomes.
Precisely. In our next episode, we'll explore another powerful application of walking for well-being, nature's prescription, and the incredible impact of the green walk.
Sounds fascinating. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Until then, keep moving. Welcome back. Last time, we explored how walking meetings can spark new ideas and boost productivity. Today, we're diving into something even more primal and powerful, the therapeutic benefits of walking in nature.
Oh, I love this topic, Alex. It feels so intuitive, doesn't it? Just the idea of stepping away from the concrete jungle and into a park or a forest. It's one of those things you feel is good for you, but what are the actual, documented benefits of what some people call a green walk?
Exactly, Lisa. It's more than just a feeling. This episode is all about harnessing the profound impact natural environments have on our minds and bodies. We'll be exploring the concept of forest bathing or Shinrin-yoku and how it directly combats stress, anxiety, and can elevate our mood. Think of nature not just as a backdrop, but as an active prescription for well-being, building on the general benefits of movement we've been discussing.
Forest bathing, it sounds so wonderfully tranquil. So, beyond just enjoying a pretty view, what's actually happening in our bodies and brains when we walk in nature?
That's the fascinating part. When we enter a natural environment, like a forest, a park, or even a garden with lots of greenery, our bodies respond in significant ways. One of the most well-documented effects is a reduction in stress hormones. Studies have shown that spending time in nature can lower cortisol levels, which is our primary stress hormone.
Cortisol. And we know from previous episodes that chronic high cortisol isn't good for us. So, nature acts as a natural stress reducer?
Precisely. It's like a reset button for our nervous system. When we're exposed to natural stimuli, the sights of trees, the sounds of birds, the smell of damp earth, our sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for a fight or flight response, calms down. Simultaneously, our parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes rest and digestion, becomes more active. This state of calm is exactly what we need to counteract the constant stimulation of modern life.
So, it's physiologically calming us down. That makes so much sense. And you mentioned anxiety and mood. How does nature impact those?
Nature has a remarkable ability to shift our focus away from internal worries and negative thought loops. When you're walking through a forest, your attention is naturally drawn to your surroundings. You might notice the dappled sunlight, the intricate patterns on a leaf, or the sound of a stream. This gentle redirection of attention is often referred to as soft fascination. It allows our directed attention abilities, the ones we use for focused tasks, to rest and recover. Think of it like exercising different mental muscles.
Oh, I like that analogy. So, when we're constantly having to focus intensely on work emails or problems, our directed attention muscles get tired. Nature provides a different kind of attention that's less taxing and actually restorative.
Exactly. And this restorative process directly impacts our mood. Studies have indicated that walking in green spaces can decrease rumination, that persistent dwelling on negative thoughts, and increase feelings of happiness and vitality. It's almost as if nature provides a fresh perspective, helping us to see our problems from a distance.
It's like nature gives us mental space. We talked about clarity through movement in a previous episode, and it seems nature amplifies that effect, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And this isn't a new concept. Many ancient cultures recognized the healing power of nature. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, gained scientific backing in the 1980s. It's not about rigorous exercise, but about immersing oneself in the forest atmosphere, mindfully engaging your senses. It's about simply being present in nature.
Being present. That's a key takeaway, I think. So, for someone listening who might feel overwhelmed or stressed, what does a green walk practically look like? Do they need to drive hours to a national park?
Not at all. That's the beauty of it. While a deep forest experience is wonderful, even a small city park, a tree-lined street, or a walk along a riverbank can offer significant benefits. The key is to be intentional. Instead of just walking through it, try to experience it. First, find a green space. This could be a local park, a botanical garden, or even a street with plenty of trees. Second, slow down. This isn't about hitting a step count. It's about mindful movement. Third, engage your senses. When you see the colors of the leaves, the textures of bark, the way the light filters through the canopy. What can you hear? Birds chirping, the rustle of leaves, perhaps distant water. What can you smell? The scent of pine, damp earth, or blooming flowers. And what can you feel? The breeze on your skin, the ground beneath your feet.
So, it's about deliberately tuning into the natural world around you. It's not just exercise, it's an experience.
Precisely. And this experience can profoundly impact our emotional regulation. When we feel anxious, our minds often race. Nature provides a grounding effect. The constancy of trees, the flow of water, the changing seasons, these elements can remind us of a larger, more stable rhythm outside of our immediate worries. It helps to anchor us.
This reminds me of our episode on building consistency with the daily step habit. It seems like incorporating a green walk could be a really enjoyable way to meet those step goals, not just for physical health, but for mental well-being too.
Absolutely. Think about it. You're getting the cardiovascular benefits of walking, plus the stress-reducing, mood-boosting, and attention-restoring benefits of nature. It's a powerful combination, and it's accessible to most people. We often think we need elaborate solutions for stress and anxiety, but sometimes the simplest, most ancient solutions are the most effective.
It's like nature has an inherent prescription for us, if we just remember to seek it out. It truly is a powerful antidote to the busyness and pressures of modern life. We're talking about reducing stress hormones, calming our nervous system, engaging soft fascination to rest our minds, improving our mood, and grounding ourselves. That's a lot of benefits packed into one simple activity.
It really is. And remember, even small doses can make a difference. A 20-minute walk in a park during your lunch break can be more restorative than you might imagine. The important thing is to make it a habit, to give yourself permission to connect with the natural world. It's a form of self-care that nourishes both body and soul. So, to recap the benefits of the green walk, it actively lowers stress hormones like cortisol, shifts our nervous system into a calmer state, provides mental restoration through soft fascination, reduces rumination and improves mood, and offers a grounding, stabilizing influence.
That's beautifully put, Alex. It's about using our movement, our walking, to actively engage with the healing power that surrounds us.
Indeed. And next time, we'll build on this idea of mindful movement and explore how walking can lead us to a state of deep focus and productivity. We'll be talking about finding your flow through walking meditation.
Ooh, that sounds like a perfect follow-up. So much to look forward to.
Next episode, Finding Your Flow, Walking Meditation. Welcome back to the power of walking. Last time, we explored nature's prescription for your mood. Today, we're diving into a practice that uses movement to cultivate inner peace. We're talking about walking meditation.
Walking meditation. I've always associated meditation with sitting still. So, how does walking play into that?
That's a common misconception. While seated meditation is wonderful, it can be challenging for many. Our bodies are designed to move, and bringing gentle, conscious movement into meditation can be more accessible. Walking meditation brings the principles of mindfulness, present moment awareness, to the act of walking itself.
So, it's about walking with intention?
Exactly. It's about intentional presence. Instead of letting your mind wander, you anchor your awareness to the physical sensations of walking. Think of it as bringing a gentle, curious attention to every step. We're building on that feeling of calm from being present outdoors and the observational skills we touched on. Now, we're turning that attention inward as we move.
Okay, I'm picturing it. So, what are the core principles?
The foundations are simple: awareness of the body, awareness of the breath, and awareness of the present moment. When we walk, start by noticing physical sensations. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the weight shift. Notice your leg muscles working. It's about bringing that awareness down from your head into your body.
So, it's grounding yourself in the physical act of moving.
Precisely. And then we connect that with our breath. Just notice it. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. As you walk, you might find your breath naturally syncing with your steps. For example, you might inhale for 2 steps and exhale for 2 steps. There's no right or wrong rhythm. It's about noticing the natural flow.
It sounds like it's about observation, not control.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the third pillar: being present. Our minds are busy. Thoughts will arise. That's normal. The practice isn't about stopping thoughts. It's about noticing when your mind has wandered. When you realize you're lost in thought, gently acknowledge it without judgment, and then guide your awareness back to the sensations of your feet on the ground or the rhythm of your breath. This gentle redirection is the essence of the practice.
So, when my mind drifts off, I just notice it and kindly bring my attention back. It's like teaching a puppy to stay close.
That's a fantastic analogy, Lisa. It is exactly like that. You patiently guide your awareness back over and over again. Each time you do, you strengthen that mindfulness muscle. It's not about achieving a perfectly still, thought-free mind, but about developing the skill of returning to the present moment with kindness.
This seems like a wonderful way to integrate mindfulness into a daily activity.
That's one of its biggest strengths. You can practice walking meditation anywhere. You can do it indoors or outdoors. It doesn't require special equipment or a secluded location. And this brings us back to the benefits we've seen. Remember how we talked about walking's positive impact on mood and stress? Walking meditation amplifies that by cultivating deeper calm and mental clarity. It's like turning a regular walk into a moving form of self-care.
You mentioned it can be more accessible than seated meditation. Can you expand on that?
Certainly, for many people, sitting still can feel frustrating. Walking meditation utilizes the body's natural inclination to move. The rhythm of walking can be inherently calming and grounding. It provides a tangible anchor, the sensation of your feet hitting the earth, that can make it easier for the mind to settle. It's a gentle introduction to quieting mental chatter by using the body's own motion.
So, for someone who's struggled with traditional meditation, this might be their aha moment.
Precisely. And it's a fully fledged meditation practice in its own right, with its own unique benefits. It can help develop enhanced body awareness, improve concentration, and cultivate a profound sense of peace that can extend beyond the walk itself. We're essentially training ourselves to be more present in all aspects of our lives.
Let's recap the core elements for our listeners. We're focusing on three main anchors, right?
That's right. First, awareness of the physical sensations of walking. Feel your feet, your legs, your body moving. Second, awareness of your breath. Notice its natural rhythm. And third, gentle redirection. When your mind wanders, kindly notice it and guide your attention back to your body or breath. It's a process of intentional presence through gentle, mindful movement.
So, it's about being grounded in our physical experience, connected to our breath, and patiently returning our focus when our minds drift. This sounds like a powerful tool for finding that inner calm we all seek.
It truly is. And remember, like any practice, it gets easier with repetition. Don't be discouraged if your mind feels particularly busy at first. Just keep gently returning to your anchors. You're building a habit of presence, one step at a time.
It's fascinating how something as simple as walking can be transformed into such a profound practice for the mind. We've gone from the general benefits of movement to how nature enhances our walks, and now we're seeing how intentionality can bring us inner peace.
Absolutely. We've laid a wonderful foundation for understanding the multifaceted power of walking. Next time, we'll shift our focus from inner peace to outward action, exploring how to build a consistent daily step habit that sticks.
Building consistency. That sounds like a vital step for making all these benefits a lasting part of our lives. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. Last time we explored walking meditation.
It was fantastic, Alex. We learned to quiet the mind. Now it's time to make consistent movement a part of our lives.
Absolutely, Lisa. Today is about the daily step habit, building consistency. Consistency is where walking's true power shines.
So, how do we build this daily step habit, especially on days we don't feel like it?
The key is to make it incredibly easy and almost automatic. Think of building a staircase one small step at a time.
A staircase, I like that. So, what are those initial steps?
Start small, almost ridiculously small. Aim for an extra 500 or 1,000 steps a day. Create success early on to build momentum.
So, if I normally walk 3,000 steps, aim for 3,500?
Exactly. Or park a little further away. Or take the stairs instead of the elevator for one flight. These are tiny changes that yield big results over time.
Stacking small actions. Less overwhelming than carving out a huge chunk of time. What's next?
Next, make progress visible and track it. This is where technology can help, like phone trackers or wearables.
Seeing those numbers climb can be a powerful boost.
Precisely. It's a little win. These little wins accumulate. You can also use a journal or calendar to mark off each day you meet your goal.
Like collecting badges. And how do we integrate steps into our day?
Think about your commute. Walk for part of it, or get off public transport a stop earlier. At home, take a short walk during TV breaks, or make dedicated walking breaks during your workday.
Great practical tips. What about overcoming days when motivation dips?
That's where discipline comes in. Remind yourself of your why from episode 1, the profound benefits walking offers.
So, remind myself of improved mood and clarity.
Exactly. Connect back to that deeper reason. Also, have a plan for when motivation dips, like pre-planning your route or having shoes ready.
The inertia is real. So, we have starting small, making progress visible, integrating into routines, and connecting to our why. What else is crucial?
Accountability. Share your goals with someone. Knowing someone is aware of your commitment can motivate you.
Like a walking buddy?
A walking buddy is great, but even a daily check-in text can help. Or join a walking group. Social connection is a powerful habit former.
It adds enjoyment too.
Precisely. And acknowledge that life happens. There will be days you miss your goal. The key is not to see it as failure, but a minor setback. Live by the never miss twice rule.
That's a helpful perspective. It's about resilience, not perfection. So, to recap, start with small goals, make progress visible, integrate walking into routines, and connect to your why for discipline.
And use accountability, whether through a buddy or sharing goals. If you miss a day, get back on track immediately with the never miss twice rule.
It sounds like a solid framework for building that daily step habit, creating a sustainable practice.
Indeed, these accumulated steps are the foundation for all the other benefits of walking. It's the quiet revolution happening one step at a time.
Next episode, we'll explore how consistent movement unlocks problem solving. We'll be discussing clarity through movement, walking, and problem solving.
Thanks for listening. Welcome back. Last time we covered building that essential daily step habit. Now let's tackle clarity through movement.
That sounds incredibly useful, Alex. I think we all have those moments where we feel stuck, staring at a problem, and not knowing which way to turn. The idea that a simple walk could help untangle those knots in our brain is really appealing.
Absolutely, Lisa. And it's not just a nice feeling. There's science behind it. Remember in episode 2, when we talked about the general cognitive boost walking provides, like improved focus and memory? Today, we're going to zero in on how those cognitive enhancements directly translate to better problem solving.
Right, so it's building on those foundational benefits. But how does the actual act of walking help us crack complex issues? It feels almost too simple.
That's the beauty of it. Think about your brain when you're stuck on a problem. Your thoughts might be racing, or they might be static, looping over the same ideas without progress. Walking provides a physical rhythm that can literally influence the rhythm of your thinking. This rhythmic movement can help break those mental loops and create space for new connections to form.
So, you're saying the physical motion influences the mental motion? Like shaking up a snow globe and letting the snowflakes settle in a new pattern.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. When you're walking, your brain is engaged in a relatively automatic task. This leaves your cognitive resources free to wander, to make associations, and to consider different angles. It allows your subconscious mind to get to work. Have you ever had a brilliant idea hit you while you were out for a walk, perhaps for something you've been struggling with earlier?
Oh, all the time. I used to think it was just a coincidence, but now I see it's the walking itself facilitating that breakthrough. It's like my brain was stuck in a traffic jam, and the walk cleared the road.
Precisely. This is often referred to as diffuse thinking, as opposed to focused thinking. When you're intensely focused on a problem, you're using a specific network in your brain. But sometimes the solution requires stepping back and letting more distant ideas connect. Walking, by its nature, encourages this diffuse mode of thinking. It allows different parts of your brain to communicate more effectively.
So, we're not just getting fresh air, we're activating different neural pathways. How can we be more intentional about using a walk to solve a problem? Should we be actively thinking about the problem the whole time?
That's a good question, Lisa. It's a balance. You can certainly go into a walk with a specific problem in mind, musing over it, turning it around in your head. However, don't force it. If you find yourself getting frustrated, allow your mind to drift. Sometimes, the solution will surface when you least expect it, precisely because you've stopped straining for it. The movement itself is the catalyst.
So, it's about creating the conditions for a breakthrough rather than commanding it. I like that. It feels less pressure. Are there any specific types of walking that are better for problem solving? Like a brisk walk versus a leisurely stroll?
Research suggests that a moderate pace is often ideal. Too slow, and your mind might wander too much without enough stimulation to make connections. Too fast, and you might revert to that intense, focus mode that can sometimes be counterproductive. The key is a rhythm that feels comfortable and sustainable, allowing for that blend of physical engagement and mental freedom. And don't forget nature. We touched on this in episode 4 with nature's prescription. Being in a natural environment can further reduce stress and enhance cognitive function, creating an even more fertile ground for problem solving.
That makes perfect sense. A stressful environment likely won't help clear the mind. So, To recap, the physical act of walking creates a rhythmic stimulus that can break mental loops and encourage diffuse thinking, allowing our brains to make new connections. This process helps us move beyond being stuck and find new perspectives on problems.
Exactly right, Lisa. It's about leveraging the power of movement to access different cognitive states. When you're on a walk, your brain is more flexible, more open to novel associations. You're not trying to force an answer, you're allowing one to emerge. It's like clearing a dense forest path. You can see further once you've moved beyond the immediate undergrowth.
That analogy really helps solidify it. The path is clearer when we're moving. And remember how we talked about the importance of a consistent habit in episode 6? This suggests regular walks aren't just good for our physical health, but also for consistently sharpening our problem-solving skills.
Precisely. The more you practice walking with the intention of problem solving, the more adept you become at accessing that state. You start to recognize the subtle shifts in your thinking that occur on a walk. You begin to trust the process. It's about building a reliable tool in your personal toolkit for navigating life's challenges.
It's fascinating to think about how something so simple can have such profound effects on our minds. So, if I'm facing a tricky project at work or a personal dilemma, I can intentionally go for a walk, not necessarily to find the answer immediately, but to create the space and rhythm for my brain to work it out.
That's the spirit. And remember, it doesn't have to be a marathon. Even a 20-minute walk can make a significant difference. The key is to get moving, let your thoughts flow, and be open to the insights that may arise. It's a natural, accessible way to enhance your mental agility and find those aha moments.
I'm definitely going to be more conscious of this on my future walks. It really adds another layer of purpose to getting my steps in. We've seen how walking can improve focus, build habits, and now, how it can unlock clarity for problem solving.
Indeed. And that leads us to our next topic. Next episode, unleashing creativity, the ideas that hit you on a stroll. Welcome back to the power of walking. We're diving into something exciting, unleashing creativity and brilliant ideas that hit you on a stroll.
Uh-huh, moments while walking. I love this topic, Alex. I know I've experienced it. You're just out for a walk, not thinking about a problem, and then bam, a great idea pops into your head. It feels almost magical.
It does, and there's science behind it. Remember in episode 2, we talked about how walking affects our brains, increasing blood flow and releasing helpful neurotransmitters. That creates a fantastic neurological environment for creative thought. When we're walking, our minds are more open and receptive, not intensely focused.
So, it's brain chemistry and a relaxed state of mind, not magic. That makes sense. I find that when I try to force creativity at my desk, nothing happens. But as soon as I get up and move, ideas start to flow. A walk takes that to a whole new level.
Exactly. A key element is peripheral awareness. When you're walking, especially in nature, your attention isn't fixated. You're aware of your surroundings, the sights, sounds, smells. This wider scope allows your brain to make connections it might not make when it's narrowly focused.
Peripheral awareness, so it's like your brain takes in more information, and that helps it spark new combinations of ideas?
Precisely. Think of your brain as a library. When you're intensely focused, you look for a specific book. But when you're walking with peripheral awareness, you're browsing the aisles, catching titles you might not have noticed. Those seemingly unrelated titles can then be combined in novel ways. It stimulates associative thinking.
Associative thinking. So, connecting different concepts that might not seem obviously linked?
That's right. Walking encourages your mind to wander and make those leaps. It's less about deliberate, linear thinking and more about a free-flowing, playful exploration of ideas. This is also why walking meetings, which we touched on in episode 3, can be so effective for brainstorming. The movement and change of scenery naturally encourage more divergent thinking.
I can see how that translates. So, if we want to actively tap into this creative potential on our walks, are there specific things we can do? It's not just about passively moving, is it?
There are ways to enhance it. One technique is to intentionally introduce prompts or questions into your walk. Before you start, jot down a few topics, challenges, or creative seeds. You don't need to solve them immediately, but let them marinate in the back of your mind as you walk.
So, plant a few seeds before a walk and see what sprouts?
You got it. Another technique is to embrace the walk and ponder. Instead of just letting your mind drift randomly, consciously turn your attention to your chosen prompts. Ask what if questions. Challenge assumptions. Look at the familiar from a new perspective.
What if? Questions are great. They really open up possibilities. And it's interesting that you mentioned looking at the familiar from a new perspective. When you're in a new environment, or even walking a different route through your neighborhood, things look different, right?
Absolutely. Introducing novelty, a new route, a different time of day, or even just paying attention to details you usually ignore can be a powerful catalyst for creativity. Our brains thrive on new stimuli. When everything is familiar, thinking pathways can become too well-worn, making it harder for new ideas to emerge.
That makes perfect sense. It's like clearing out mental clutter and making space for something fresh. So, creative prompts, what if questions, and introducing novelty. Any other simple strategies for boosting walking induced creativity?
One I find effective is what I call a loose focus. This is a bit different from peripheral awareness. You might have a specific idea or problem in mind, but you hold it with a light grip. You allow your mind to drift and explore related or seemingly unrelated thoughts without judging them or trying to immediately connect them.
A loose focus, so, not obsessing over the problem, but keeping it gently in mind while letting other thoughts surface?
Exactly. It's about being open to unexpected tangents. Often, the solution or creative insight comes from an unexpected connection when your mind is allowed to roam. And when an idea does strike, don't let it get away.
Oh, the fear of the forgotten idea. I've had brilliant thoughts vanish into thin air.
It's common. That's why capturing thoughts is so useful. Carry a small notebook and pen, or use a voice memo app. The moment an idea surfaces, even if it seems small, jot it down or record it. You can review and develop these notes later.
A simple capture system is essential. So, to recap for harnessing walking for creativity, walking creates the optimal brain environment, enhancing peripheral awareness and associative thinking. We can plant seeds with prompts, ask what if questions, introduce novelty, adopt a loose focus, and capture those fleeting ideas.
You've summarized it perfectly. The key takeaway is that walking isn't just for physical health. It's a powerful, accessible tool for sparking innovation and generating new ideas. It frees our minds from usual constraints and allows for more expansive, connected thinking. Just step outside, move your body, and get ready to be surprised by the brilliance that emerges.
It really is about embracing the journey and letting the movement guide the ideas. Building creativity into our daily walks sounds natural and enjoyable.
Absolutely. And in our next episode, we'll be shifting gears to explore how walking can dramatically impact our emotional resilience, helping us navigate stress and mood. Next episode, walking for emotional resilience, mood, stress, and anxiety. Welcome back to the power of walking. Today, we're exploring emotional resilience.
It's amazing how much movement impacts our minds and emotions beyond just physical fitness. Last time, We reinforced how our brains get a boost from being active. Can you remind us of some of those key takeaways, Alex?
Absolutely, Lisa. Remember we discussed neurochemicals? When you walk, your brain releases endorphins, those natural mood lifters. They boost happiness and reduce discomfort. Walking also helps regulate serotonin and dopamine, which are huge for mood and well-being. It's like your brain gets a balanced, natural chemical cocktail for calm and happiness.
So it's actual chemical changes, not just perception, that make us feel better. That's powerful. We also touched on nature's restorative effects in episode 4. How does that connect to emotional resilience?
It's a fantastic synergy. Movement combined with nature's calming presence amplifies the benefits. Nature reduces rumination, those negative thought cycles we get stuck in during stress. Even a short walk in a green space can lower cortisol, our primary stress hormone. It's like the natural world buffers us against daily stresses.
That makes so much sense. I know I feel a difference when I can walk outside. So, for someone feeling overwhelmed or anxious, how can they practically use walking as a tool?
It's incredibly accessible. The first step is just to start moving. If you're overwhelmed by anxiety, the impulse might be to curl up. But a short, brisk walk can be very effective. Focus on your breathing. Notice the rhythm of your steps, your feet hitting the ground. This mindful engagement pulls your attention away from racing thoughts and anchors you in the present.
So, it's about redirecting focus. Instead of dwelling on the stressor, you engage your senses and body. What about managing more chronic feelings of sadness or low mood, like with mild depression?
Walking is a highly recommended, non-pharmacological approach for mild to moderate depression. Consistency, as we discussed in episode 6, is key. Even a 30-minute walk most days can make a significant difference. It doesn't need to be intense. The regular, rhythmic motion plus endorphins can gradually lift your mood. It provides accomplishment and structure, which is very healing.
And I imagine the problem solving aspect from episode 7 also plays a role. When feeling low, challenges can seem huge. Walking might bring clarity.
Precisely. When stressed or anxious, our thinking narrows to the threat. Walking widens that perspective. Gentle exertion can shake up thought patterns, allowing new insights and solutions to emerge. If you're stuck in a negative emotional state, a walk might help you see things differently and find a way forward.
It sounds like walking is a multifaceted tool for emotional regulation. It addresses immediate chemical imbalances, provides mental breaks, and offers fresh perspectives. Are there specific ways to optimize a walk for emotional resilience?
Yes, definitely. First, consider the environment. Nature is ideal, but a pleasant neighborhood works too. Second, intention matters. Before you walk, set an intention like, I want to clear my head. This conscious focus helps direct your walk. Third, listen to your body. If 30 minutes feels like too much, start with 10 or 15. The goal is momentum, not exhaustion.
That's reassuring. It's not another pressure point. And what about walking with others? We'll cover this more in episode 10, but does walking with a friend enhance the emotional benefits?
It absolutely can, Lisa. Social connection is a powerful buffer against stress and can elevate mood. Walking with someone you trust allows for sharing feelings in a low-pressure environment. The shared activity itself can be bonding, and company alleviates loneliness that often accompanies stress and low mood. It's resilience building together.
So, to recap for our listeners, walking for emotional resilience involves several key elements. 1. Leveraging neurochemical benefits like endorphins and mood-regulating neurotransmitters. 2. Using nature's restorative power to reduce stress hormones and combat rumination, as we discussed in episode 4. 3. Using rhythmic movement and present moment awareness to redirect anxious thoughts and anchor ourselves. 4. Building consistency to combat sadness and low mood. And 5. The potential for gaining new perspectives and clarity on challenges.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Walking is a remarkably simple yet powerful tool for nurturing our emotional well-being. It's not a cure-all, but it's an effective and accessible strategy for managing stress, improving mood, and building resilience. It's about giving your mind the same care you give your body through physical training.
It really is a holistic approach. It's empowering to know we can actively take steps, quite literally, to improve how we feel daily.
Exactly. And remember, the most important thing is to find a rhythm that works for you. Whether it's a quick 10-minute stroll or a longer, contemplative walk, the benefits will accumulate over time.
This has been incredibly insightful, Alex. I feel much more motivated to integrate intentional walks into my routine for emotional well-being.
Fantastic. Next episode, The Social Stroll, we'll explore how walking strengthens connections and community bonds. Welcome back. Last time we covered emotional resilience. Today, let's explore walking and connection.
The social stroll. It sounds so inviting, Alex, highlighting the enjoyment and connection.
Exactly. We focused on internal benefits, but walking powerfully connects us to others. Remember our discussion on walking meetings? Moving together broke down barriers and fostered open communication.
Yes, the physical act of moving in sync encouraged openness. Less pressure than sitting across a table.
Precisely. Walking with someone creates a shared experience. It's not just the destination or conversation, but the journey together. You observe the same scenery, feel the same rhythm, encounter the same things. This shared experience is a powerful foundation for connection.
It feels more natural, too. You can have deep conversations without it feeling forced, not like an interview. You're just walking.
It's the perfect low-pressure environment. A walk offers extended time for organic conversation compared to a quick coffee. You can start with light chatter and drift into deeper topics naturally.
And it's inclusive. Not everyone enjoys high energy activities. A walk is accessible and connects without the pressure of performing. It's gentle.
That's a brilliant point. It bridges different comfort levels. Remember our conversation about the benefits of nature walks? Combining nature's power with company offers a double benefit. Walking through a park together amplifies nature's restorative gift.
So the shared environment itself becomes a catalyst for conversation. You might comment on a tree or the sun, opening up discussions or creating comfortable silence.
Exactly. And this builds community. Group walks, walking clubs, or neighborhood strolls foster belonging. Regularly walking with people builds bonds, offers support, and celebrates successes, creating a mini community one step at a time.
It's like creating a natural support network. And the rhythm of walking is soothing and bonding, a shared biological rhythm.
That's a great way to put it. It's almost primal, isn't it? Moving together. Ironically, profound connections happen when you're not looking directly at each other. You're focused on the path, but sharing the experience. It allows for intimacy through shared presence.
It sounds like a way to deepen relationships and forge new ones with surprising ease. It's counterintuitive that moving away from someone, side by side, brings you closer.
It really is. Movement acts as a facilitator. It takes pressure off direct social interaction, allowing connection to emerge organically. There's no forced constant conversation, but the opportunity is always there. A lull can be comfortably filled by enjoying the walk itself.
So, for anyone wanting to strengthen friendships, build community, or have more meaningful interactions, incorporating a social stroll seems accessible and effective.
Absolutely. It turns a solitary activity into a shared one. It leverages putting one foot in front of the other to build bridges between people. Whether it's a walking club, a friend catch-up, or inviting a neighbor, the benefits are immense. You're nurturing social well-being.
It's a reminder that connection doesn't need elaborate plans. The simplest activities done together can have the most profound impact. That's a fantastic takeaway.
It truly is. We've discussed individual benefits, creative sparks, mental clarity, emotional resilience, and now, the powerful threads of connection walking weaves into our lives. The social stroll shows how movement with others enriches us.
So, the social stroll uses shared experience and low pressure environments to deepen relationships. It builds community, fosters natural conversation, and allows intimacy through side by side movement, connecting to our discussions on walking meetings and nature walks.
Exactly. It's about making walking a collaborative, connecting activity. Up next, we'll explore advanced walking techniques to enhance your journey. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to the power of walking. Last time, we explored the incredible ways walking fosters connection and can turn a simple stroll into a shared experience. Today, we're moving beyond the basics, diving into advanced walking techniques designed to really supercharge your mind and body.
That's right, Alex. We've built a fantastic foundation, covering everything from consistency to problem solving on the go. Now it's time to take our walking practice to the next level. So, what are these advanced techniques you're talking about?
Great question, Lisa. We're going to explore a few key areas. First, we'll look at interval walking, a fantastic way to boost both physical fitness and mental sharpness. Then, we'll delve into themed walks, where you can tailor your stroll to achieve specific goals, like enhancing memory or cultivating gratitude. And finally, we'll touch on something really fun, incorporating storytelling into your walks.
Interval walking sounds intriguing. I'm picturing alternating bursts of intense movement with periods of rest. Is that the general idea?
Exactly. Think of it like this. You know how runners often do sprints followed by jogging? Interval walking applies that principle. You alternate between a brisk, faster paced walk and a more moderate pace. The faster intervals are your work, and the moderate paces are your recovery.
And what are the benefits of this kind of structured intensity? I imagine it's good for physical health, but you mentioned mental sharpness too.
Absolutely. Physically, interval walking can significantly improve cardiovascular health, burn more calories in less time, and build endurance. But the mental benefits are just as impressive. That push during the faster intervals can actually enhance cognitive function. It challenges your brain to adapt, improving focus and processing speed. Remember when we talked about how movement gets blood flowing to the brain? Interval walking really amplifies that effect.
So, it's not just about getting warmer, it's about actively stimulating your brain. How might someone structure an interval walk?
A good starting point is to try a 1 to 2 ratio. For every minute you walk at a very brisk pace, take 2 minutes at a comfortably moderate pace. You can adjust this as you get fitter. For instance, begin with maybe 5 to 10 rounds of this. The key is to push yourself a little during that brisk phase. You should feel your heart rate rise and breathing become deeper.
That makes sense. So, you're challenging your body and mind in short, manageable bursts. This sounds like something I could try on my usual routes.
Precisely. Now let's shift gears to themed walks. This is where you can really personalize your walking experience. We've touched on problem solving and creativity on walks before, but themed walks take that a step further by giving your walk a very specific purpose.
This sounds exciting. What kind of themes are we talking about?
One powerful theme is a memory recall walk. Imagine you're trying to remember details from a past event or a piece of information. As you walk, you intentionally focus on recalling those details. You might associate different parts of your route with different memories, or simply use the steady rhythm of walking to help unlock those neural pathways. It's like using your movement as a mnemonic device.
Oh, I like that. It's like creating a mental filing system powered by your steps. It connects back to how movement helps our brains absorb and retrieve information, right?
Exactly. Another wonderful theme is a gratitude walk. During this walk, your sole focus is to identify things you're thankful for. You can start with broad categories like health and relationships, and then narrow down to specific things: the taste of your morning coffee, a kind word from a friend, the feeling of the sun on your skin. This intentional focus on the positive can significantly shift your mood.
A gratitude walk. That sounds incredibly therapeutic. Especially when life feels overwhelming, consciously focusing on the good things could be a powerful reset. How do you keep the focus from drifting during a themed walk?
Consistency is key, just like with building any habit. You might start with a shorter walk, say 15 minutes, dedicated to your theme. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Don't get frustrated. Think of it like training a puppy. You guide it back to the task. You can even set small intentions before you start. For a gratitude walk, you might say, for the next 20 minutes, I will actively look for things to be thankful for.
I can see how that intentionality makes a big difference. It's not just wandering, it's purposeful movement. What about that storytelling idea you mentioned?
Storytelling on a walk is a bit more freeform, but can be incredibly engaging. You can use your walk to create a story in your mind. Perhaps you imagine yourself as a character on an adventure, where you use landmarks you pass as prompt for your narrative. You might even narrate your own day or a future aspiration, as if you were telling a story to a friend.
So, you're using your environment and your movement to build a narrative. That sounds like a fantastic way to boost imagination and even work through personal narratives in a creative way. It touches on that idea of walking and creativity we discussed earlier, but with a more directed approach.
Precisely. It could be a form of active journaling or creative writing fuel. You could say, okay, this lamppost is the entrance to a hidden kingdom, and then let your imagination take over. The physical act of walking can also help unstick thoughts and let ideas flow more freely as you construct your story.
These advanced techniques, interval walking for cognitive and physical boosts, themed walks for specific mental and emotional goals, and storytelling for creativity, really highlight how versatile and powerful walking can be. It's not just about the number of steps, but the intention and the method behind them.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. We've seen how interval training can sharpen your mind, how focused walks, like for gratitude or memory, can actively shape your mental state, and how storytelling can unlock your imagination. These techniques allow you to tailor your walking practice to specific needs and goals, making it an even more potent tool for well-being.
It's about moving with purpose, whether that's to challenge your body, calm your mind, or spark your creativity.
Exactly. These methods demonstrate that walking is not just a passive activity, but an active practice that can be optimized and amplified. We've covered a lot of ground in this series, moving from the fundamental habit of walking to these more advanced applications.
Indeed. It's inspiring to know there are so many ways to deepen our relationship with walking.
And we're not done yet. Next episode, we'll tackle the inevitable challenges that can arise on any journey, including our walking journeys, and explore practical solutions to overcome them.
Looking forward to that. Join us next time for episode 12: Overcoming Hurdles, Challenges, and Solutions.
Welcome back. Last time, we explored advanced walking techniques. Now, let's tackle common challenges.
It's true, Alex. We've talked so much about why walking is amazing, from boosting our brains to sparking creativity. But life isn't always a perfectly sunny path, is it? So, what are the biggest roadblocks people face, and how can we push through them?
You've hit the nail on the head, Lisa. The most common one we hear is, I don't have time. It's like a universal excuse, right? But remember from episode 1, we talked about the accidental revolution? Walking doesn't require a massive chunk of your day. It's about integrating small movements.
Absolutely. And I think that's where we can re-emphasize the idea of microwalks. Instead of thinking you need a 60-minute dedicated block, what if you break it down? Maybe a 10-minute walk after breakfast, another 10 after lunch, and a third 10 before dinner? That's 30 minutes of movement, and it feels far more manageable.
Exactly. Building on our discussion in episode 6 about building consistency, it's about making it a habit, not a Herculean task. Think about it functionally. Can you swap a few minutes of scrolling social media for a quick stroll around the block? It's about making conscious choices.
Another big one is motivation. Some days, the couch just calls to you. What's your advice for those low motivation days, Alex?
This is where we tap into the why. Why did you start walking in the first place? Was it for stress reduction, as we discussed in episode 9? Was it to clear your head for problem solving, like in episode 7? Reminding yourself of that core benefit can be a powerful motivator. Also, the just start approach is incredibly effective. Commit to just 5 minutes. Often, once you're moving, you'll want to keep going.
That just start principle is so key. It's like priming the pump. And what about weather? Here in the Pacific Northwest, rain is practically an unofficial state symbol. How do you keep walking when it's pouring or freezing?
The weather. It's a classic impediment. My advice here is twofold: preparedness and mindset. Preparedness means investing in good waterproof gear. A decent rain jacket and waterproof shoes can make a world of difference. You don't need to be trekking through a hurricane, but a light drizzle or steady rain shouldn't stop you.
So, a good umbrella or a waterproof hat can also be game changers.
Precisely. And the mindset shift is crucial. Instead of thinking it's raining, I can't walk, try it's raining, I'll have a different kind of walk. You might notice different things: the smell of the wet earth, the sound of the rain. It can be quite therapeutic, in a way, connecting with nature's elements. We touched on nature's prescription in episode 4, and that applies even with a little rain.
That's a great perspective. It's about adapting the experience rather than abandoning it. What about physical limitations or injuries? Some people might feel walking is too strenuous or might aggravate an existing condition.
This is perhaps the most important hurdle to address, and it requires caution. For anyone with ongoing physical limitations or concerns, the absolute first step is to consult with a healthcare professional or a physical therapist. They can provide personalized advice and guide you on safe movement.
So, medical clearance is paramount.
Absolutely. Once you have that clearance, it's about adapting the walk to your body. This might mean starting with shorter distances, choosing flatter terrain, or focusing on a slower pace. Remember episode 11, where we touched on advanced techniques? Well, this is about foundational, accessible techniques. Even a slow, short walk is infinitely better than no walk at all.
And it ties back to the idea that every step counts, which we've emphasized throughout the series. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency and gentle progression.
Exactly. Another barrier can be safety concerns, especially for those walking alone or in areas with limited visibility. What are your thoughts here, Lisa?
Safety is always a priority. For those concerned about personal safety, I'd recommend walking with a buddy whenever possible. This also ties into episode 10, the social stroll. Having a walking partner not only adds companionship, but also an extra layer of security.
And if walking with someone isn't an option, there are other strategies. Stick to well-lit areas, especially if you're walking in the early morning or evening. Let someone know your route and your expected return time. Carrying a personal alarm or using a safety app on your phone can also provide peace of mind.
Those are excellent practical tips. It's about being aware of your surroundings and taking sensible precautions. So, to recap some of these hurdles and their solutions, for no time, we focus on microwalks and integration. For low motivation, we reconnect with our why and use the just start tactic. For weather, we prepare with the right gear and shift our mindset.
And for physical limitations, we always consult a professional and adapt the walk to our abilities. For safety, we walk with partners, choose safe routes, and let others know our plans. It's about making walking work for you, no matter what life throws your way.
It really comes down to adaptability and a willingness to find solutions rather than succumbing to the obstacle. Every single step is progress.
You got it. And with that, we're reaching the end of this episode. We have one more to go where we'll tie everything together and look at your long-term walking journey.
We'll see you next time for our final episode on integrating walking into your life for long-term well-being.
This is our 13th and final episode. Simple movement can profoundly transform your mind.
It's been an incredible series, Alex. Today is all about making that transformation stick.
Exactly. Remember in episode 2, Your Brain on the Move, we discussed neuroplasticity? How walking physically changes our brain structure, creating new pathways. That's the fundamental science. Walking is a direct pathway to a healthier, more robust mind.
And we saw how beneficial that is. In episode 4, Nature's Prescription, the Green Walk, we linked walking in nature to reduce stress and improved mood. Nature provides calming sensory input, and combined with movement, it's a powerful potion for well-being.
Absolutely. Then came episode 5, Finding Your Flow, Walking Meditation. Here, we learn to use walking as a mindful practice. By focusing on breath and steps, we achieve present moment awareness, reducing anxiety and enhancing clarity. It's about being in the walk, not just completing it.
And to make it sustainable, we talked about habits in episode 6, the daily step habit. The key you highlighted is starting small and being consistent. Whether it's a few extra steps or a 10-minute stroll, consistency builds that neural pathway and makes walking natural. Many listeners loved realizing it doesn't have to be an hour-long march.
That's the beauty. And think about how walking helps us tackle challenges. Episode 7, Clarity Through Movement, Walking and Problem Solving, showed us that stepping away from our desks unlocks solutions. When we're stuck, a walk provides a change of scenery and pace, often leading to aha moments. It's like your brain works things out while your body moves.
And that creativity. Episode 8, Unleashing Creativity. The ideas that hit you on a stroll was a favorite. Many of us get sudden inspiration while walking. The gentle motion can quiet the inner critic and open our minds to new ideas.
It's like our brains are on shuffle, and a new combination emerges. Then we delved into emotional well-being. Episode 9, Walking for Emotional Resilience, Mood, Stress, and Anxiety, showed walking as a fantastic tool for managing our mental state. Blood pumping releases endorphins, natural mood boosters, and it provides a healthy outlet for stress.
It's a simple yet effective strategy for shifting our emotional state. And walking isn't just solo. Episode 10, The Social Stroll, Walking and Connection, highlighted walking with others. It deepens relationships, allows meaningful conversations, and builds community. It's less intense than sitting face to face, making it easier to open up.
Right? You walk side by side, creating a shared, connective experience. We also explored advanced techniques in episode 11, Beyond the Basics, Advanced Walking Techniques, encouraging experimentation with paces, terrains, and deeper mindfulness. It's about exploring what feels most beneficial for you.
And in episode 12, Overcoming Hurdles, Challenges and Solutions, we addressed common obstacles, bad weather, lack of time, waning motivation. You gave us practical strategies to push through, reminding us that adaptability goes a long way.
So where does this leave us? We've spent 13 episodes understanding the profound impact of walking. We know it's not just physical fitness. It's a holistic practice that enhances cognitive function, sparks creativity, regulates emotions, builds resilience, and fosters connection. The goal now is integration.
Integration. That's the key word. It's about weaving these aspects of walking into your daily life naturally and sustainably. It's not another chore, but embracing a powerful tool already within reach.
Think of it like building a personalized walking repertoire. Maybe you start your day with a brisk, mindful walk, like in the meditation episodes. Then, perhaps you opt for a walking meeting during your workday to boost productivity, as we covered.
And on weekends, you might plan a longer, nature focused walk with friends or family, combining movement, nature, and social connection. It's about applying the principles we discussed to your life.
Exactly. Don't feel pressure to do everything at once. Start with one or two techniques that resonate most. If building a consistent habit is your priority, focus there. Once that feels solid, layer in another element like a short walking meditation or a walking buddy.
It's about progress, not perfection. And celebrate small wins. Consistent days, moments of clarity, creative sparks, they are significant shifts in your well being.
And be patient with yourself. There will be days when motivation wanes or life gets in the way. That's normal. The key is to have those strategies from episode 12 ready. Can you do a 5-minute walk around your house? Step outside for fresh air? Adaptability is your superpower here.
It's about developing a relationship with walking, where it becomes a go to strategy when you need to clear your head, boost energy, or feel more present. It's a lifelong tool for navigating life's ups and downs with greater ease.
So, as we conclude this series, step outside, breathe it in, move your body. You have the knowledge, the tools, and the power to transform your mind and life one step at a time. Make walking your trusted companion on this journey of well being.
Thank you, Alex, for this insightful series. And thank you to all our listeners for joining us on the power of walking. We hope you continue to discover the extraordinary benefits that simple movement can bring.
Thanks for listening to the series.